What happens when, in the final days or hours of life, a person who has been peaceful suddenly becomes restless? When a loved one who has been calm becomes confused, anxious, or distressed for reasons we can't understand. For families and caregivers, this can be one of the most heartbreaking and confusing experiences at the end of life. You might feel helpless, frightened, or even wonder if you've done something wrong. Today, we are going to talk about this difficult subject with compassion and clarity. We're going to talk about a condition known as terminal agitation or terminal delirium. Our goal is not to be clinical, but to provide understanding. To shine a light on this process so that if you have experienced it, or ever do, you can see it not as a personal struggle, but as a natural, albeit difficult, part of a journey. First, what is this phenomenon? Think of it as the storm before the calm. It's a sudden change in a person's behavior as they approach the end of their life. Someone who was previously calm and sleepy may suddenly become incredibly restless, agitated, or disoriented. It is a state of delirium, a confusion of the mind. The most important thing to understand, the absolute core of this message, is this. This is not the person you love lashing out. This is not a reflection of their true feelings or their spirit. This is a physiological process. Think of the brain as a highly complex computer. The person you love, their personality, their memories, their essence, that's the precious data stored on the hard drive. But as the body weakens and begins to shut down, the computer's power supply starts to flicker. The operating system, the software that runs everything, starts to glitch and crash. The data is still there, but the machine can no longer process it correctly. Terminal agitation is the sign of a crashing operating system. So, what does this storm actually look like? The signs can vary, but they often include a few key things. First, there is profound restlessness. This can look like constant fidgeting, plucking at bedsheets, or trying to get out of bed even when they are too weak to do so. It's an inability to get comfortable or find peace. Second, there is anxiety and agitation. The person may become easily distressed, shout out, or seem fearful. Their mood can change very quickly for no apparent reason. Third, there is deep confusion. They may not recognize familiar faces or their surroundings. They might talk about people who aren't there, or speak about events from the distant past as if they are happening right now. They may even have visual or auditory hallucinations. So why does this happen? What causes the static in the brain's operating system? It's usually a combination of factors, as the body's delicate balance is disrupted. One major cause is physical. The body might be trying to send a signal of distress, but the brain can no longer interpret it correctly. Unmanaged pain, difficulty breathing, a full bladder, or constipation can all manifest as agitation because the person can no longer say, "I hurt," or "I need to move." Another cause is chemical. Medications can build up in the body differently at the end of life as the liver and kidneys slow down. A dose that was once therapeutic can become toxic, leading to confusion. And finally, there are metabolic changes. As organs begin to fail, waste products that are normally filtered out can build up in the bloodstream. These toxins act like static, interfering with the brain's ability to function clearly. This brings us to the most important question for any caregiver. How can you help? What do you do when you're in the middle of this storm? The goal is not to fix it, but to provide comfort and safety. First and foremost, do not argue or try to correct them. If they see someone in the room who isn't there, arguing with them will only increase their distress. You cannot reason with a crashing operating system. Instead, you enter their reality with reassurance. Second, create a calm and peaceful environment. Lower the lights. Turn off the loud television. Reduce the number of people in the room. Playing soft, familiar music or reading a beloved book aloud can sometimes be incredibly soothing. Third, use your voice and your touch. Speak in a calm, low, reassuring tone. Gently holding a hand or stroking an arm can provide a powerful sense of connection and security when all else is confusing. Your calm presence is an anchor in their storm. And finally, talk to the medical team. This is a medical symptom, and it can often be treated. Hospice and palliative care teams are experts in managing terminal agitation with medications that can bring comfort and peace to the patient. So let's bring this all home. Terminal agitation is a deeply distressing thing to witness. But it is a reflection of the disease, not of the person. The person you love, their soul, their essence, is still there, inside the storm. If you have been through this with someone you love, please know this: you did nothing wrong. Your presence, your calm voice, your gentle touch, in those confusing final moments, that was the anchor. That was the love. And that is what mattered most. It is the final, compassionate act of helping someone navigate the storm as they find their way to the calm.